Hey guys, Mitch here with the AudioDabbler YouTube channel, and video recording problems. Anyways, let's take a look at RE-1 from Numerical Audio, and it is a virtual tape machine. But I want to kind of focus on how I guess me personally would feel like it needs to. You need to set it up to use it properly. And that's going to be using it with a mix bus and not directly on the channel that you want to play. And so, I mean, it'll work on a regular channel that you want, but if you can do it on a mix bus, then it kind of opens up more possibilities. And so I don't know if I'm going to do a full tutorial, if I'm just going to kind of I don't know what I'm going to do. I hit record like 5 times in a row, and So, it's a virtual tape machine. And so back in the day, they would send a signal out to a machine, to a tape machine, and then record that signal back in. And what that would do is that would create a delay from the time that the signal, it was a physical delay from the time that the signal went from the mix to the tape machine back around. It would cause a delay, and if they wanted to change that delay time, they could adjust the playback rate on the tape machine. Well, then they actually started making tape machine plug-in, or tape machine virtual, or not virtual, actual physical, like tape machine echo effects. And now we're in the digital age, so everything is a plug-in, and so now we can do this, and we have 3 different playheads, and so in there will be spaced out depending on this little head spacing knob right here, and you can adjust the volumes of each of the playheads. And so you got this tape, a virtual representation of this tape that's being continuously rolled. And then what'll happen is, as it passes over the playheads, and if you don't understand how a tape works, some of you the young cats that's never even seen a tape deck, is you've got playheads, and as the tape goes across them, it'll send a signal and it'll play a tape. It'll play the audio, or VHS, it'll play video and audio. But this one has 3, and so the tape is going to hit each of these 3 at different times, because they're not all lined up at the same they're not all in a line, they're across this way. And so as it goes across, it's going to send 3 different signals out, and they're going to be delayed at different times. And so you can space out these if you want to. You can adjust the overall delay time. It does have a BPM sync if you want to sync it to the BPM of your track or whatever that you're doing. But the main thing I want to stress is to use it in a mix bus. And so I have AUM loaded up, and I have a piano over here in BS16i, and I have Sunriser with this little kind of sound, and I have a piano, and then I just have a future drummer here playing some drums on top of it. And I have these sends, and they're sending to A from here, and they're sending to a pre-fader. And so what that means is, before the signal goes out H, or it's not even going to look at this fader. So this fader could be maxed out or all the way down to the bottom, and it don't really care, because it's going pre-fader, so it's going the app signal. And so if you had a guitar plugged in and you're sending something pre-fader, whatever your volume is on your guitar is going to be what the signal is, not the volume in this right here. And so that's going to send the signal out to RE-1. If you wanted it to send post fader, then this right here, it would look at this. It would go after this fader, it would send it to there before it went out. And so I want pre-fader, and I want this to be the dry mix. I want it to be 100% wet, because I'm going to control the dry volume here. And so if I don't want to hear the draw volume, and I just want to hear the affected volume, then I can just turn this down and I won't hear anything that's coming out of BS16. I will still get signal and I will only hear what the affected thing is. And I think that's going to be the way to really utilize this app, because it's got an overdub function and a looper up to an 8-bar looper, which is cool. So now we actually have a 4 or an 8-bar up to an 8-bar looper. But if you have it in the same signal chain, whenever you depress this overdub, say you want to record something, you got a chord progression or whatever, and then you want to not play that chord progression, but you want to still play piano, as soon as you hit overdub, it's going to just stop the signal going. And that's not what we want. We want the looper to loop. And so let me kind of showcase what I'm talking about. Oops, I didn't have my signal right there up, so I can't hear what I'm playing. I'm just going to turn all the heads down and have that one up. Mess with the delay head a little bit. Let me clear it. It's got a clear button to clear the tape. Why is it not? Oh, I'd have the volume of it down. There we go. That would help if I turn the volume of the actual signal that I'm trying to listen to, wouldn't it? So you got that playing. Now it can get out of hand really quickly if you turn this feedback up. Right now feedback is at 0. But a few other things you can do is you can color the hiss. I can pan it. Start adding a little bit of saturation to it. Okay, and so now watch. Now if I wanted to play on top of it, I can send this signal completely down. But if I hit overdub, then the signal stops. And so that's not what we want. We want to overdub when we want to overdub. And so that you're going to basically control the overdub with this little guy right here, instead of, because if I turn the input level down, then you're not going to hear anything. And so let's clear. Let's go back to overdub. Let's add in. Those going, and I can reverse it. Spread out that stereo signal. And now I'm free to play on top of it because I have adjusted these sends all the way down, and so it's not listening to any of these anymore. It's only going to continue to just play this portion, and there'll be some signal degradation because that's kind of the tape idea. Adjust the volume now. So, and you can adjust the spacing of the heads and stuff like that. So let me start turning this feedback up. I'll start adjusting some things. Maybe the delay time. And I do really like that it really is virtual, but it takes on the characteristics of a tape machine, because if you're adjusting the delay time, it's not going to be an instant jump from 1 millisecond to another millisecond. It's going to gradually slower fade the tape up. But as you can hear, you know, I've made a few adjustments, and now it's just gotten crazy out of hand. And so when you start messing with this feedback, it's just going to start acting crazy with this sounds that it's coming out. So definitely for like sending a signal to it and getting like some cool weird ending tracks, end to your track or something, would definitely be fun doing this. So you can get as crazy as you want to. If I want to send more signal to it, it does seem like sometimes the playheads stop, and I don't know how to get them to start back. It's weird. Yeah, so it's not without its issues, but you know, most apps, you know, have some of their issues. But this is just, I just think it's fun. And you know, using it this way, you can definitely utilize its overdub and its looping capabilities. And as long as you have that feedback to 0, it'll loop pretty much indefinitely. But as soon as you start messing with that feedback, man, it just gets crazy and out of hand, and you can make some crazy and out of hand stuff if you want to. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully this was informative and helps you make a informed decision on whether or not you want this app, and you know, kind of how you can use it, especially inside of AUM with these mix buses. I would definitely suggest using it that way. That way you can control the signal that's going into it and out of it and stuff. So I will talk to you guys later.